All right, so Risa, I'm recording this because I thought it'd be fun if we wrapped up our sessions together by capturing on video, the essence of the two things that we have spent a lot of time focusing on, which is you wanting to attract the relationship that you want to have, and also in capturing the essence of the vision that you have for yourself in terms of the direction that your heart and soul are really calling you to. And it's a very different direction than the work you've been doing, and it's a very heart-centered vision that you have, and I understand that sometimes visions like that can be really challenging to articulate, right? It can be hard to explain to somebody else an essence and a feeling that you have on your heart and a potentiality inside of you that's pulling you in this direction. But we've been able to give some words to it, right? Yeah, right. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to guide you through this by, coming back to some of the words that you have brought forward in regards to, we'll start with the relationship, and then we'll move to the vision that you have about the kind of work that you would like to do. And then, we'll look at where the two meet and look at activities or things that you could do where we could pull both of those elements in together. Okay, so would that be helpful?
Yes, very much so. Thank you.
All right, so let's start with, I'm going to read to you some of the elements that you have mentioned to me about, a man that you would like to attract, and then you can just expand on them. Okay, so the first thing you said, these are like your non-negotiables in a relationship. These are things that you want in a relationship with a man. So one of them is that you want the relationship to be respectful. So what do you mean by that?
Respectful to what I do that brings joy to me, that it things that I feel that I need to do in this life by contributing to other people's life, that it is important to me, and sometimes to the other person who is supposed to be your other half, they cannot see the value in it. To be respectful for my thirst for connecting with spirituality, to be respectful for my love for reading, for my love for the arts, for my love for theater, for my love for a life that is not just about eating and dressing and the cars we drive and going down the local pub or the bar or holidays, or it's the ache that I have, the need that I have to give an answer to these important questions. Why am I here? Who am I in connection with the rest of the world? These things are important to me, and if I cannot share them respectfully with the other person, well, that's why I've been living by myself most of my life, and not with someone else, because I haven't found someone that I can be myself and have the respect for this side of myself.
Okay. And what about what you would bring in a relationship in regards to being respectful of your partner then? How would you show respect for them?
I will show respect for allowing them time and space to do their own thing, by supporting them in what they do, by first of all, by trying to understand it. If it's something that I'm not familiar, if it's something that I haven't touched upon yet or whatever, try to understand it. And I always feel that if I'm interested in this person and I love this person, and I'm even more than love, I'm grateful for this person that is in my life, I want to be part of what they're doing, and I want to, even if I cannot contribute time or energy or something else, I want to support them. I want to encourage them. I want them, when they leave the house every morning, say, to go to work or whatever I do, I want them to feel that there's one person in my life, in the whole world, that I can be myself, and they won't criticize me. They won't say, you did that right, you did that wrong, who are you to do this, or all this kind of thing. So that's the meaning of being respectful to someone else's questions and answers and needs in life. Yeah.
And you mentioned spirituality in that. You mentioned that it was important to you. So then when you think about spirituality and having a man in your life that is, what does that mean? Is it connected to having exactly the same beliefs? Is it a religious belief? What do you mean by the spiritual aspect of your relationship?
I mean that I would like him to be an awakened person. Okay. I would like him to have been in touch with and try to answer these questions, I would like him to believe in spirituality in the wider how can I say, meaning of it. I'm not a religious person myself, so I cannot be with someone who is a religious person, a dogmatic person. I am not a dogmatic person. I want someone that to appreciate that it's something more than us being only the daughters and sons of Earth, that we also belong to Uranus, to the universe, and because that's what I am doing. He will be always in searching, and in trying to connect with whatever it's out there, and have respect for this kind of for people like me, that they are saying there's something else there. So we need to how can I say, we need to try and connect with it, and we need to be able to sense it and feel it. And I want to be in the same spiritual journey. I don't want, if he's a little bit ahead of me, that's fine, because he will help me accelerate my process. But I need to be able to understand him, and I want him to be able to understand me.
Okay, well, that was because that's what I was going to say is it negotiable or non-negotiable? What if he's already deeply connected and really has done that work? Or
I would love that.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was wondering. Or do they have to be on the path of seeking, or maybe he's found it,
Even better so.
Okay. Some of the qualities that you had talked about were that you want to be with somebody who is generous, funny, adventurous, maybe loves to dance, courageous, creative, honorable. So those are all things that are important to you, yes?
Yes, because I see myself like that. We're not always at our best, we're human beings at the end of the day. But the best qualities that I have, and and you can enhance them, and you can have them even more, and you can become even more of these qualities if you have someone who has these qualities as well. So if I inspire him to bring out these qualities more and more and more, and he does the same with me, we live being our best.
Nice. You had on your list non-smoking and not a heavy drinker.
Sorry, yes, that has to be a non-negotiable. I cannot stomach it. It makes me sick, physically sick, the smoke. I think it's a habit, a barbaric habit, from the old ages, wherever back in 20s and the 30s, they thought that smoke will save someone's life. The doctors used to prescribe it as a medicine. It's completely out of the question for me, because also that signifies to me an addiction, signifies to me other things, and also I want someone to be healthy. So, from I don't even want to touch the how can I say, the day-to-day stuff. Like, he will smell he will smell. I will kiss him and he will smell. It's things, sorry, but and that's important too. But it's the idea behind, I want to smoke. So what does that mean to that person? I don't have addictions like that.
Okay. Financially independent. Tell me about that. You'd like to attract a man who's financially independent.
Yes, I would like to attract. I used to be ashamed, maybe before I got to meet you. Because I thought, well, I'm a decent human being and I should be above money. And if someone is a decent human being and I like him and I love him and why money is important? Well, now I'm not ashamed to say that money, it is important. Not money itself, it's what you can do with money. And I believe that if someone is around my age, for me, it shows what they've done with their lives by them being financially independent. And it's also it's a sense, maybe this is not a good thing to say, but it's a sense of security, like they have reached a level in their life that things have started, they have been starting working, you know. So whatever we do in our spiritual sphere or our educational sphere, or what we want to, they at one point they manifested. They were monetized, as you say. Monetize?
Monetize, yes.
Monetize.
Lisa, right behind you is a television. I don't know if it's a reflection or it's in the next room. There's a reflection of a television.
There you go.
There you go. Perfect. Thank you.
Sorry. Yeah, because my mom is sitting there. Yeah.
Yeah. No problem. Okay. So anything else you want to say about this man that you want to manifest then?
I just want, I want someone to, I don't want it, Monique, to be hard work. I'm not good in playing games. I'm not good in playing the I run, you catch me kind of thing, whatever, men and women play in the modern era that we live. And I also, very important to me in all the I didn't have that many, but in the relationships that I found myself entering, I would always go, I knew, fresh, having dealt with the emotional background from a previous relationship, didn't go well, it went well. If a previous boyfriend will want me back, I would have to think about it. I was crystal clear on my emotional state entering a new relationship. Unfortunately, I haven't been attracting men so far yet. This is changing. With the same clarity, emotional clarity, and that's heartbreaking. So what I want is this man to see me and him to be free of the past, free of any emotional attachment to anyone, to any other person, in the erotic kind of way. You know what I mean? As a boyfriend and girlfriend. And also, I wanted I don't want it to be spending a lot of time in playing these games that they play. I like you, you like me. I enjoy your company. You enjoy my company. I will show you that. You show me that, and let's see how it goes. Yeah.
Okay, well, you've got a pretty clear vision on this man. Some of the sacred gifts that you identified, or one of the sacred gifts that you really identified with, was the gift of cultural integration. And we've talked about that in terms of your desire to possibly do work. So what the essence I got from you is that this vision that's growing inside of you of how you want to spend your time feeling on purpose, which we'll talk about shortly, will generate a lot of income. And then with that income, with some of that income, you're very passionate about doing some humanitarian work or having a foundation or doing something out there in the world. And that may put you in a situation, maybe even the work you're doing will put you in a situation of traveling and being in other cultures. So yes. Would it be important for you that this man is also comfortable in other cultures, or do you see yourself traveling, working, and he's at home?
I would like to travel and work with him. Because I'm 52 years old and I have lived mostly 99% by myself. So the rest of my time on this beautiful planet of ours, in this incarnation of mine, I want to spend it with him, because I'm also in the 5 languages of love. I don't know if you know the book. My number 1 is physical touch. So I walk around, Monique, and I see couples, touching, holding hands. I am that person. I give energy and I take a lot of energy by touching someone. And I always say that if I had a boyfriend, I will be, holding hands. I will be hugging. I will be touching. And that's for me very, very important, the physical touch. And I realized that, in the recent years, and it became clarified, only speaking with you, the last few weeks, that it was so important. And so, yes, I want to be with him. I don't want to have a long distance relationship. I want to be with him. So I love people. I can, socialize with the king, and I can socialize with the person who collects for our, hygiene reasons and purposes, the garbage on the street. I can, sit on and eat something from the ground, and I can be in the best, whatever 6-star hotel. I love connecting with people. So I want someone next to me that he has the same love, that he won't get bored, he won't get afraid, he won't get cold, yeah, it's important for him to share the same gift, more or less.
Okay. Well, and that's possible for sure. Okay, so let's move from that beautiful vision and articulation that you have of this man that you want to attract into your life. And let's move towards the vision that that's been really coming up for you. I would say I'm not even sure that it's not a vision you've created as much as it's a vision that was in you and it has shown itself to you. That's the impression I have, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So again, we'll do the same process when it comes to the vision of where you see yourself next. Okay. So right now you're working a job and you enjoy the work that you're doing. It's not where you want to stay. You're clear on that. It's not your calling. It's not your vocation. It's not your vision for the future, but it's something you're very grateful for. You do it well. It pays you good money. And it's what I've said to you is like a lifeboat job that is wonderful right now because it's floating you to the next shore, right? I mean, it's a lifeboat that can get you to the next shore. So now we're going to talk about what's on the next shore.
Yes.
Okay, so and this is the vision that has come up for you is it's kind of multifaceted. There's a few, different elements to it, but one of the things that you've talked about that you're very clear on is that what it is that you do and how you apply your energy and your gifts is going to make you a lot of money. You are going to prosper from it. Is that correct?
Yes, that's what I felt when we're talking about my vision, and I was, getting all this inspiration, and I was articulating it. Towards the end of it, it struck me that not for a moment a thought crossed to me that yes, but how am I going to make money? The money never. It was never there. And when you and I were talking, you also were overwhelmed because the way I was passionate about it. So it's about me being at my best. When am I at my best? When I'm on my flow state. And when am I there? When I feel joy. And this word has become such an important word in my life, joyful, my inner child. What I'm good at when I do that, I don't think that I'm hungry, that I'm tired, that the time has gone. I know that I love bringing life into written text. I know that I'm very good at that. Tell me what
that means. Tell me I don't know what that means, bringing life to written text. Tell me what that means.
From when I was little, that I had dyslexia, I could not read properly. And I almost taught myself to read, and from being a dyslexic that I could not read, I then read poetry to thousands of people in a theater. And reading poetry, it's not the easiest thing to do. How do you awaken the emotions on someone? People will fall asleep. It's not action there. It's just action by the way you. The intonation that you use and how you bring life into the written text, into the words. So you then create the imagination to the people's minds by the text you are communicating to them. So I love when I do that. I love that. And I know that I have the gift to connect with the other people and to take them with me to the journey, to captivate their imagination and take them with me to the journey I'm going. And that journey might, have tears, joy, might have thinking of a current situation, might be just joyful and happy and, not put your mind to think too heavy of, difficult issues. But whatever it is, I can grasp their imagination and do something with it. For maybe a little bit, they will forget about the rest of, what they do, who they are, or whatever things they have to do outside. It's another thing that I want to bring into this, into whatever I'm going to be doing next, is the ability that I have, and I've been demonstrating it, but for me it was like, okay, it's not a big thing. This is what I do. It's like I hold a casual conversation with someone, maybe 20 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. And they open up and they tell me of an issue that they are, facing. And then I immediately ask them a few questions, and I see like the bullseye, almost. And I go there, I ask the questions, zoom, like a bee, I go there, I do my thing, and I leave. And they say, oh my goodness, I never spoke to someone like that. And thank you. No one. Usually this is what they say. No one spoke to me like you just did. And this is the more I realize what I'm doing, when I'm outside that situation, when that situation has ended, the more I see it happening, with me and other people. So I think that if you ask me to do that, if you say, Krista, can you help me in this way? I saw you doing it in my friend when we met, on the street the other day, and I will pay you. I don't want to do it. I don't think I can do it. So I cannot do it as a psychotherapist does it, because I don't want to be involved in the before, nor do I want to be involved in the after. It just comes to me, and when it comes, I need to do it. It's not a question, I need to do it, I have to do it. I'm just doing it. So that's another thing that I think that if I'm going to be in a joyful situation where I feel certain that I'm using what I'm supposed to be using, by saying that I'm in the sacred gifts, it will happen. So that would be a cool thing to do, to help others.
You're describing there you're describing the two gifts, the gift of wise counsel and the gift of encouragement. And if you're clear that it's not something you want, that's not what you want to monetize, working as a psychotherapist or advisor or whatever, then the thing is that those gifts are going to go with you whatever you're doing. It doesn't matter what you're doing. I can guarantee you people will come to you and talk to you, and they will seek wise counsel from you. So, no matter what it is you're doing. So when you talked about poetry and being in front of a lot of people, so that points to being on stage, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
When I was on stage.
Yes. Yeah. And so we've talked a lot about everything to do with performing, right? With you performing. You are a performer. And in the work that you're currently doing, you don't have any opportunity really to do that at all. You're in a gift of planning and organization is the gift that and assistance and service. Like those are the gifts you're really using in your current work. But your soul and your heart are calling you into other gifts or awakening in you. And you're feeling really drawn towards performance, being able to influence more than one person at a time in your work right now. Your work is really dedicated to one person. You love to play with people. You love to sense people. You like to bring out the best in people. You love the human psychology that's involved in performance, in acting. And you love that whole element of how through acting that it can result in the growth of the person, of the actor themselves. And so through all of those things, when you talked to me about it, and there was so much passion in it, where you came to is that you had a sense that there was maybe a way that you could tie those together, that you didn't really see yourself being the actress as much as maybe the one coaching the actress to get the most out of that actress or actor. Is that still what's kind of coming up for you?
Yeah, how I see myself when I talk about my vision is that I see myself surrounded by a group of people. We are studying because I'm an active person, so I feel myself like the director. We maybe we're holding scripts, or we're doing something with scripts, because what I feel is that we say that we're working on a character, on a role, And by going heavily into this, the emotions of this person, of this part of this role, the other person is actually doing that for himself, maybe not realizing it at the very moment, but doing that for himself. And they can see similarities there, so they can work on their own issues, but it's more playful, it's less painful, and it's less direct if you apply all this work to a fictional character, and then you get your benefits as well. So I see myself surrounded by people. Sometimes I'm in the middle. Other times I am, in the background a little bit, and I see them, touching them, directing them, telling them to, you go there and stand there, and you trust me, because I know what I'm doing, and I don't always want to or have to explain why and all that this would be beneficial to you, because I have the whole picture. And you can't see it at the moment, but I see it. So you trust me, and I don't want to spend time and energy explaining to you, because that's the magic of it. I don't have to explain it. It will unfold before your own eyes. So I feel like the Muppets, you call this theater, that I am the person who moves the Muppets around, because I am like a little god seeing things that they cannot see. And I feel that I have now what it takes how can I say it? I have in me the knowledge and the experience and the guidance, maybe, to see all these elements, to manipulate in the good way, all these things, to bring all these ingredients, to bring them together so we have a final product. I don't see myself doing one-to-one. I just need more people. I need the energy of more people. Okay. And another reason why the acting, the performing is so important, because I believe art is very important. The recent years, I realized I was very ashamed, because of the tribe that I was born in, to say that, I have a love for beautiful things. That doesn't necessarily mean that I need to buy expensive, beautiful things to have them with me. No, I just love beauty. And beauty is art for me. A beautiful thing, how can I say, it becomes an art thing. And I want to surround myself and my psyche and myself with artistic things, with art. So performing, it's a form of a performing art. We call it, of art. There's another reason behind all that, is that I was in the acting business, and apparently it wasn't for me, for whatever reasons we discussed previously. But I have this dream, me holding an Oscar. And all those years associated holding the Oscar with me being an actor. So I win the Oscar because I was an actor, supporting role or whatever role. And I felt by being an actress, I was giving a lot of my power. I realized, though, that that's not the case, because there's so many powerful actors there. My idol, Meryl Streep. But so it wasn't acting, it wasn't for me, because maybe it was important for me to be the person on that everybody claps on. I would like to be famous, and I want to be a star, but in a different way now, involved in people's lives. And if I am doing this kind of work, people will be drawn to me. Instead of me going to them auditioning, people will be drawn to me, and they will say, okay, we like what you do. Would you like to be part of this? Or would you like to be part of the other? So I am in my dream, instead of completely saying, in this life, this is not for me, and completely forgetting about it.
Yeah, I mean, you can feel this. Can you feel this?
I feel this. Every single time I speak about this, I feel it. And then people talk to me about Airbnb, and the mind says, oh, well, this is a safe way to make money. And then you see, Airbnb, it's about making money. So I say, yes, I want to make money. Let's do Airbnb. When I talk about this vision, it's my God, money never comes to it. And when I say I want to be the star, I want to be a star. I don't want to be behind the scenes. You know, I want to be there. I want people to admire me. I want people to say, yes, Chris Abotu, you know, she knows what she's doing. Let's go and get some help. And then by association and by knowing what I do, by word of mouth, you know, a director might come to me and he will say to me, you know what? Do you want to do this with me? I'm doing this movie and there is this thing that I need, you know, someone to do. Are you interested in doing this? Not necessarily playing as an actress. It's 1 million things that I can do, you know. Production, for example. I would love to be able to do something in production.
Okay, so so we have door number 1 is acting, door number 2 is directing and coaching, and door number 3 is producing. Which is the door that is most compelling to you right now?
The middle one, because the producing, it's very far away, the producing still.
Okay, so I'm going to encourage you to stay, as we talk through your vision, stay focused on that door right now, which is directing, coaching, right? The coaching and the directing. So when you say, I don't see myself behind the scenes, I think of a director, for example, in a movie, is very much a part of the whole thing and they get the recognition, but they are behind the camera. So when you say, I don't want to be behind the scenes, does that mean you don't want to be behind the camera?
No. What I mean is, because the director is a very, very strong influence, my goodness. No, what I mean is that the job, for example, that I do now, is that I have all this, people will compliment me, but I'm behind the scenes, behind the back of my employer.
Okay.
You know, I am a star, but my light doesn't go further than that. I will be a star among the people who will come to me to get help. I will be a star in my workshop. When someone will come to me and will be asking for my knowledge, for my ability in helping in whatever I will be doing, I will feel a star because they're coming to me instead of me being an actress going to them for an audition. That's the comparison I make.
Okay. So when you said, I see this, you know, whenever I think of this and whenever I get in that space, I never does money come into it. So I want to be really clear on that because there's a lot of there's a lot of power in words, right? So are you saying that you'd be willing to do all of that and not make money? Or are you saying that if you were doing that, you know the money would flow and so you don't have to think about how you would make the money?
It's the second one. I know that the money will flow. I know that the money will come. It's of course I want money and I want to make millions. I want to influence people with the money that I will earn. You know, I want to give money away, you know, to help others. It's just that I feel my heart goes like, you know, it pumps and it's like beating very strong. And when I say I don't think of the money, is because I'm so immersed into this that money is there. So I don't have to think about money. You know, it's not, okay, I'm going to do this, but how am I going to make ends meet? And how am I going to have the money? The money is there. So I don't worry about it. I have this secure feeling, this certainty.
Excellent. So if people want to support you in your vision, you know, because I know when you started articulating your vision to me, it was just so clear. And immediately what happened, remember, there was a name of a director that came to mind who was a director and a coach, an acting coach, and works in the world of personal development. So I've talked to you about him. And as soon as you started describing, I thought, I want to connect them. You know, I want you to meet him, and just something that moves you in this direction of what you want. So if people were to ask you, like when they hear your vision and they say, well, what can they do to help you? What would be things that people, because when you articulate your vision, it's so compelling. Your energy is so vibrant. You're so alive in it. I can feel it. I, in my mind, one of the things I know I can do for you is I hold the vision of watching on television, or maybe live, but at least on television, you receiving your Oscar. I hold that vision.
Really?
I see it. I'm just curious as to what your gown is going to look like. But you know,
I know it. I know exactly what it's going to look like.
Because you receiving the Oscar is not a question for me, so I can hold that vision for you. But what is it that people can do? Because for your vision to happen, you've got to articulate your vision, and hopefully by what we're doing right now, you can share it with people. And then when they hear your vision, one of two things are going to happen. They're going to discourage you. I don't think that's the circle you move in. They're going to want to talk you out of it, or not hold your vision, or there's going to be the other people who are going to say, okay, what can I do to help? What can I do to help you? So what is it that people can do to help?
Okay, that's a very good question, and a practical question as well. If they know of people that they combine the acting with coaching in any respect, for example, in my vision, I think that I can also help big CEOs of companies, you know, to liberate them of not being able to express themselves because they feel entrapped into a certain a mask or a certain character they have to portray within the business, you know, and their associates. I also want to move towards that direction because I feel that I can affect in a positive way all these people. So if they know of anybody who has brought these gifts together already and is practicing them, I'll be very much interested, and they would like very much interested in speaking with them, even taking a class if they're doing something, you know, but anything. If they know directors, if they know arts, people that they move within the arts, that they also express by using words instead of, you know, only painting, for example, or sculpturing or whatever. I believe that just sitting and having a little bit of precious time, quality time with someone of these people that they are willing to give, because I'm willing to take with you know, with gratitude. That's what I can think for the time being. Yes.
Okay, so you're describing then a performance coaching. It could be for actors, it could be for performers of any kind, it could be for executives who need to get up and speak in front of people, and you would be able to. Okay, so for now, can we just call it kind of performance coaching?
Yeah.
Is that an easy? Okay, so then what can you do that would move you in the direction of starting to connect you in that world? And also expose you to men. You want to be the man, right?
So, yes.
You know, don't join a women's group. Don't go join a women's acting group, right? You want to be exposed to men, and then you also want to be moving yourself in the direction. So, what are things that? So here's what I'm going to encourage you to do, Lisa, is look for activities that maybe you're not ready yet to focus on the business yet, the business model of what am I going to charge, and you know, how am I going to build it? Am I going to build a website? I don't know that you're quite ready for that step yet. I'm not sure. You would know, but maybe what you can do to start moving in this direction is to take a coaching course. Look online, look in Facebook for groups that are groups like I belong to some coaching groups, but they're coaches that are directly working with clients in personal development. You might look in Facebook or Google groups that are online that you can connect with, that are in your area, or getting out of your house and getting into activities where you are doing community theater and you are presenting yourself as a coach. And even if you offer your service for free right now, that you go to a local theater and you say, here's what I can bring, here's my talent, my gift, I'm really excellent at coaching. Maybe it's not directing right away. Maybe it is directing. Maybe they need a director for a local community theater. But do you see what I'm saying? Where you can, but it would have to be totally joyful, fun, effortless, all of it, to just start moving you in that world where it comes out of the vision and you're actually starting to be in it. How does that feel when I say that?
Very joyful. It really does. I've done that for ages when I was in London, because all my acting career and everything that I did was in London. Mm-hmm. And it came a point when I came back here that I struggled a little bit with the way they do things here. So that sort of took out of me the passion that I had for this art form, and I completely left it. But I see now that I can, my passion has been rekindled, because I see now that I can enter this sphere again, but from a different position, that I'm not going to be seeking parts and roles for myself. But I will be actually saying to them, you know what, how can I assist you to put this together? So I feel more empowered this way. And that's why I mentioned the word star before. This way, I do feel like a star. I don't need the validation of someone else. So, yeah, I like these ideas. Yes, thank you.
Good. And is it feasible to you that you can continue to do the job you're doing, continue to earn some income, and use some of that income to invest into this direction of what you want to do? Do you have the time freedom to start investing time into this new direction?
Yes, I do, because I have a wonderful relationship with my current employer. And just before she went to her vacation to the island, she sent me a text, and she said, the day she arrived there, she said, Carissa, I am so very grateful that I have you in my life, you know, and I can show you lists of these texts and emails and voicemails, you know, that she's always grateful and thankful to me. That's why I want to keep, to the best of my ability, my, you know, working relationship with her until it's a moment for me to leave. I am grateful and very much appreciative, because most of the time I work by myself, so I can organize my own time, my schedule, and I live on very little things. I don't need to spend money, you know, so I save most of my money. And that's a wonderful thing to be able to do, you know, especially in Greece with the crisis and everything. And so I want to make the maximum, how do you call it? I want to make the most of this employment being what it is. That will, and I feel this is a strong base which will propel me to my next thing that I'm going to do all by myself, for myself.
You know, there's so many things, and by articulating your vision, people will give you ideas, and they'll give you their ideas, and they'll give you their opinions on what you should do. And I would encourage you to capture all of them. You know, you could put on a workshop. You could create your own workshop for young actors. You could, you know, I mean, there's an endless amount of ideas that people will give you, and you can you don't have to take action on all of them, and you don't have to feel guilty if you don't feel compelled to take action, but you can capture those ideas that people share with you, because sometimes the idea that they give you isn't correct for right now. It doesn't feel like it's the next right step, but 6 months from now, when you go back and visit the list that you made of things that people told you, it could be an idea that someone gave you was just a bit ahead of its time, right?
Yes.
And then the last thing I want to ask you is, you've told me that you have a strong support system. Like, you've got a group of people that you belong to that are there to help support you.
That's correct.
How can they keep you accountable to moving in the direction of this, that you don't just leave it out there floating, that, you know, what can they do to help keep you accountable, to keep encouraging you to move in the direction of your dream?
Well, the important thing for me right now is to be authentic to myself, authentic to these wonderful things that they keep surfacing from my heart, from my soul, by connecting, you know, to the spiritual realm and world. And me joining this fantastic tribe that I'm in, it wasn't for what did I need to do to make money. I always said from the very beginning is that I need to find my purpose. I need to find the reason of me being alive this time around. What am I here to do? And I'm grateful, because being in this tribe, I have started this journey discovering this, you know, and so because we in the tribe we take actions, we support, encourage, and challenge each other. I just need that I have this journey to do now, that it's not necessarily taking an action upon an action in order to increase passive income or increase whatever it is, money, savings. Although I want to, who doesn't like to have passive income? But I think that it will come, but my way. and I need encouragement at the moment to be true to this way that I want to do things.
Okay.
I don't know if this is coming out in the right way, but yeah.
Just trust it. So if you are in meditation, contemplation, if you're praying about your vision, if you are journaling about it, if you are looking for the next step that you can take to put you into that world, right? The thing is, you want to get into that world. So yes, those activities may not seem tangible to somebody else, but to you they are, right? So I mean, cementing the vision in you is a tangible activity for you. You waking up every morning and picturing yourself getting the Oscar, that's a tangible activity to you, but to somebody else it may not seem as tangible, right? But other people may have some tangible ideas that you can also act on, which would be really great. Maybe, a connection that somebody makes, or somebody reads an article online and sends it to you, and that causes you to go to a link, which opens up an opportunity, right? So it's being able to do both, being true to your process that you're feeling you're in right now of solidifying this vision. And I get a sense that you're really kind of in that space of you and the universe, really cementing the vision in you. And then the actions will flow out of that. And also taking into consideration ideas that people give you. And like I say, it doesn't mean you have to act on them right now, but at least to gather them and hold on to them, and they may make more sense later on, right? The person you need to meet for all of this to happen might be 2 steps away. The connection that's going to put you into this world at an even higher level may not be ready yet. It would be great if it all just happened right now. I mean, wouldn't we all just love that, oh, there's the next step. Now you do this and there it is, right? But to continue the movement, to continue to move in that direction. So when you talked about somebody's idea of an Airbnb, you can write that down and you can capture it. If I was to say to you, does it feel like the right next step for you right now is to open or start running an online Airbnb? What does your heart tell you?
It takes me away from my vision.
Okay.
It makes my vision.
Okay. So trust that. See, that's what I mean, is trusting that. So you listen to what people say, and then you let it land, and then you check in. Now, somebody might say, well, you're just trying to find a way to not make money, or you're not open to our ideas. No, it's that you're open to it, but then you're taking those ideas and you're pressing them up against your vision and your heart and your soul and the direction that you're being guided in. And but it doesn't mean you're saying no. It's just no, not now. Right now, opening an Airbnb business online doesn't feel right. Or right now, moving into real estate doesn't feel right. But we don't know. 7 years from now, real estate might be the right thing, right? So it's just checking in. Somebody sends you a connection to a community theater group in Athens in your area, and you think about that, and it's like, yeah, it feels right. Maybe it doesn't make sense. Maybe it's going to cost you money. It's not going to make you money. But it's like, oh, okay, that feels like it moves me in the right direction. So you just take each idea that people have, and you use your inner guidance system to measure it up against it. I don't sense that you're afraid of taking action. I don't sense at all that you're looking to sabotage yourself. I feel like this is really an important time in your life. This is a huge step for you to actually really have become totally transparent about what it is you want to do. And, and that's big. That's big when you start brushing up against your purpose and what makes you feel on purpose, and what the next step is for you is really big, and nobody can rush you. Nobody can rush you into it.
My mind says, that I should go 1000% for the Airbnb because I'm an action person. And this is like, if I know if I do 1 + 1 + 2, then I will have a certain amount of income. I know. And my brain says, that's the way to go. But for the very first time in my life, I have found myself being in a wonderful employment that gives me the time and the peace of mind and the luxury of being to create a vision all by myself, without rushing from one job that it doesn't satisfy me anymore to another job. And the only reason for moving to that job is because I can make money. So it's more than money.
There isn't anything you can't do. If I've learned anything from being with you, is that I'm very clear that there isn't anything you can't do. And there's a scripture that says something like, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Right?
Yeah, I like it.
Lisa, you're able to do anything. I mean, there's no doubt that if anybody gave you an idea and they said you can do this and go do it, you could do it. I think you've proven that over and over and over in your lifetime. So this is a different time in your life. This is now where it's not just do it because you can do it. It's about doing something you not only want to do, but it's calling you. It's like a calling inside of you, of you being there and surrounded by these people and bringing the written word to life and coaching and encouraging. And whether it's a CEO that's got to do an important meeting in front of his clients, or whether it's a young actress who's just aspiring, it's like it's in you to do it. And you have the gifts, you have the sacred gifts to support it. It's meaningful to you and it would feel on purpose. And the vehicle to doing it is, likely going to be your own business. But it might start off that the vehicle is where it's community theater and you're volunteering your time. And then that might turn into a small part-time job that allows you to do it. And that, you know what I mean? But your vision is that it will be your business and people will come to you and you will be in demand because of how good you are. And you're so clear on that, right? But it doesn't mean that's going to be tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's where you're moving in that direction. And it's more than a vision because you are actually taking action on it. You're talking about it. You're articulating the vision. You're sharing the vision. So it's not just a vision anymore. It is real now. This is tangible. And you're even having this conversation is moving you in the direction of it. So this is actually unfolding. It's unfolding now. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. And I think it would be more bringing it to life with the first action that I will take, which will be in the realm of the performing arts. It's directing a group or offering my assistance or anything. And when that happens, we would have brought it down here.
Good. Okay, I'm going to just stay on the line. I'm just going to stop.